This is my Mk2 Mazda MX5. As you can see, it looks rather sad at the moment. It's missing panels, it's quite rusty, it's covered in grime, and it's also starting to become one with nature. In my mind, this car was always destined to be my first proper restoration. I was going to make it shiny and new, and I was going to give it to my wife. But between all my other cars and life getting in the way, that's just not happened. So now, it is unfortunately time to get rid of it. Despite the car being in such a sorry state, I would genuinely keep it for longer. It feels like I've made a lot of progress with my welding skills, my confidence is going through the roof, and it feels like it's only a matter of time before I'd have the resources and the means to actually restore the car. But, on the other hand, it's been sat here for well over a year now, and I've made no progress whatsoever. And ultimately, it's also taken up space on a driveway that doesn't belong to me, so the sad reality is, it has to go. Now, because this thing is nowhere near roadworthy, as you can probably tell, I'm in a bit of a predicament in terms of what I can actually do with the car. I have a few options, and the first one is just to scrap it. So if somebody would come pick it up, I'd get around about 150 quid, and the car would go off to car heaven, never to be seen again. It's probably the most hassle-free option. I'd lose a tiny bit of money, but the main reason I'd like to avoid that is it's just going to kill me inside. This car could be saved, and I'd much rather try and give it to somebody else who could at least utilise it or give it a second life. So scrapping it is the easiest option, but the one I'd like to avoid. Right, option number 2 is to break it for parts. So if I was to take out the engine, the gearbox, the differential, that could net me a few £100s. Things like the wheels, interior bits, the roof, subframes, and all this little daft stuff you see here, it could probably bring the total to around about £400 or £500, which is quite good considering what I paid for the car. The only downside is I'd have to wait for all those things to sell, and ultimately I need this car gone within the next 3 weeks, so that's just not an option. The third option I've got is to try and put all the parts back on it and make this car as presentable as I possibly can. That way I can hopefully sell it on to somebody who will buy it as maybe a track car project or something to restore, and that way it doesn't just go to the scrapyard. So all I need to do now is dig out all of the parts that have been scattered around the place and try and make this thing look like a car again. Let's crack on. Alright, so all the front end's buttoned together and we're hiding in the garage because it's really windy out there. The weather in England is just so bipolar. Yesterday it was sunny, then it was rainy. Today's the same sort of situation, just with a really strong wind. I was assuming I'd be able to roll the car out of the bushes and then do the same treatment to the rear of the car. I just tried to push it and it didn't move a millimetre. So it looks like my only option is to see if it'll fire up, and that way I can drive it out of the bushes and button the rest of it together. This car's not been driven in probably around 2 years. It did used to fire up quite well. The engine runs sweet as a nut as far as I know, but the battery's completely toast and it's got no fuel in it. So I need to pinch a battery from my Civic, which hopefully will do the same job, and put some fresh fuel in it, and then all being well, it'll fire up. We'll see. I kind of forgot the batteries in the boot on these cars. Oh, God. In the bushes we go. And there you go, more proof that Japanese cars are just the best. Alright, there we go, that's all the panels back on, and the car actually looks like a car again. It's not perfect, there's some bad panel gaps and things, but it is so much better than what it was at the start of today. As for the interior, I gave that a quick once over, mainly just sort of got rid of the mould, and I gave it a tiny bit of a vacuum. It's now much more habitable for me if I'm moving the car around, and I couldn't pass it on to the next owner in good conscience in that state. So the interior is all clean, the exterior looks like a car again, but it's still covered in green stuff, so the sort of, I think it'll be probably the final thing I need to do is give it a wash. So let's go and give it a quick wash. Not a detail, a wash.
All my life I was looking for a sign. Wasn't sure where to find a peace of mind. Sometimes you can see things when it ain't time. Well, for you I'll be putting it all aside. When I look at you it seems so damn easy to love. Was alone, now I'm feeling so alive.
And here we are, now ready for sale, my 1999 Mk2 1.8 litre Mazda MX5. It's a very honest example, and it's got quite a few flaws. Let me run you through them. So for starters, both rear arches are rotten. The sills are also considerably rotten and rusty on both sides. Panel gaps are, well, pretty terrible. It's about 4 different shades of red. The clear coat is peeling on the boot. The front bumper is a completely different colour. The power steering pump has failed, so it doesn't have power steering. It definitely needs a new battery. The headlights are going to need a good polish. And overall, it's just a bit tatty. Don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom, the car actually has some positives that are definitely worth mentioning. The car fires up right away and actually sounds pretty healthy. With the exception of the lack of power steering and some tired brakes, it actually drives pretty well. It handles bumps, it stops, and it steers. And with the exception of a loose door card, the interior is actually pretty tidy as well. If the odometer is accurate, the mileage is also reasonably low for a car this age. The soft top is also in reasonably good condition. Oh, and finally, it also sounds pretty fruity because I decided not to put the back box back on. You're welcome. All I needed to do now was to list the vehicle on the infamous platform, Facebook Marketplace. Well, as you can probably tell, the car is gone. So, a few hours after I put it on Facebook Marketplace, I actually got a lot of messages, but a gentleman messaged me, he came to look at the car that evening, we agreed on a price, and he came to collect it the next day, so quite a fast sale if I'm honest. I probably had about maybe 10 messages at the time when I took the ad down, so that's a reasonable amount. I like to keep things as honest as I can here. I like to be transparent with things, and I'm sure there's some of you curious about the pricing and such. I think I initially paid £250 for the car, which is ridiculously cheap. I put it on Facebook Marketplace for, I think it was £500, knowing full well I was happy with less than that, considerably less. And in the end, we settled on £325, which for a car with an engine and some valuable parts in it, I suppose, is a pretty decent price. But I'm quite happy because I haven't lost any money, and technically I've actually made a little bit more than what I bought the car for. It's gone to a good home. It'll probably get utilised far more than it would if I sent it to a scrapyard, for example. So overall, yeah, sad to see it go, but relieved it's sold so quickly. Again, as I previously stated, I really didn't want to get rid of this car, but the sad news, I suppose, is it's not the only car that's going. The MX-5 is obviously gone. My Land Rover, which nobody has ever seen, is as good as gone, and as it currently stands, there'll also be another car that's going. I feel like I've reached that point in my sort of car enthusiasm journey where you've got to face reality. Owning multiple cars is fun. It's awesome to tell people, you know, I've got X amount of cars, or I've got these cars, and you know, you have a nice range of vehicles to choose from. In reality, it's not practical. As I've stated before, the running costs for multiple vehicles is just ridiculous. I mean, trying to get each car in full working order and then modify them is, it's a tall ask. I mean, you need to be making serious money in order to sort of justify it. And there's plenty of people out there that can. I think there's a lot of people that are dishonest about it. And once again, here on The Honesty's Den, I try and keep things real. It's not practical. I couldn't really afford to do it. And it's looking like I'm just going to cut my numbers back rather significantly. Without giving too much away, I mean, you could probably tell which car it is based on my previous videos. I'm still working on the Civic. So if you're into your Hondas, you needn't worry there. Yeah, on a less doom and gloom note, I'm actually quite pleased with how the Civic's going at the moment. It's quite fun to have a cheap car that I'm really not spending that much money on. You guys like it as well. So it's ticking all the boxes. I'm really liking my journey with the Civic so far. So I hope you guys are looking forward to more content with that. We'll get the S2000 out properly soon, and we'll sort of sort out the other one and sell that at some stage. But yeah, thank you guys let me try that again. Thank you guys very, very much for watching this one. I wasn't really going to film it, I was just going to sort of sell the car and explain afterwards, but I figured it might make a decent video. Some of you guys might like the, you know, the behind the scenes sort of stuff. So thank you guys very much for watching. If you want to see more interesting content, like working on cars instead of just selling scrap ones, please feel free to subscribe. Let me know what you think down in the comments section below. Would you have kept it? Is it the right decision? Are you thinking about selling any cars? Are you thinking about buying any cars? Let me know down below. As always, thank you guys. I can't talk. As always, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Crows, man. That's a lot of crows. Why are there so many crows? Okay.